What's going on, everyone? So one of the big things about Scream has been the cameos, right? We've gotten a ton of cameos in every Scream movie, essentially. We've gotten cameos, appearances, dating back to the classic Scream. I mean, Wes Craven, playing Fred and stuff. And then obviously Drew Barrymore being the opening scene. Usually the cameo is in the opening scene. Usually the cameo is, again, Drew Barrymore or Samara Weaving. But you've seen like Linda Blair, right? Like they've done a good job of like having these little kind of Easter eggs and cameo characters in all the Scream movies, right? They brought essentially everyone back for Scream 5. Like Drew Barrymore was like the announcer at the high school and stuff like that, right? Like they've done a really good job of kind of keeping the cameos with the Scream franchise. So one of the things that I want to talk about and just have an open, just fun conversation video, and let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments of who you'd like to see. But who do you think should be the cameo or cameos? Maybe it's multiple people that you'd love to see in the upcoming Scream movie. Now, I'm not like super familiar or hip with like the modern like circuit of actors and actresses and stuff. I know that there's like a lot of these like shows that are going on, like Euphoria and stuff like that, and people throw out characters all the time that are like, oh, or actors and actresses all the time. They're like, oh, you need to have this person or that person in a Scream movie and stuff, and and most of the time I'm like, I have no idea who that is. It's how you're getting to the age where you're getting old, right? When you just don't know who all the hip actors and actresses are of today's day and age. But please let me know. I like the consensus ones. I'll probably look up and explore, and maybe we'll have some conversations later on down the road about it. But I do think usually, like, you look at Scream, and it's usually people that are in the now a little bit, or particularly known. Maybe not like the huge stars, right? But like you think of like Jada Pinkett Smith and Omar, right? Like they're actors and actresses that were, very known at the time, right? Like they weren't like these huge stars that are going to demand, like $1 million for, a 10-minute cameo, but they were, actors and actresses that were familiar, right? Samara Weaving. Like one that I think could make a lot of sense would be like Sydney Sweeney, right? Like she's like blown up, right? People love her. I know she's in like Euphoria, and she's done like all these little movies and all these little cameo roles. And, she loves to kind of like embrace that. She's done some horror movies and stuff, right? So like she's somebody that I could see maybe, because I don't think her price, her demand is too high to where they wouldn't be able to do it. Obviously, I don't think she'd play like a huge role, because that might be pretty pricey, and Scream is not known to, splurge on casts. But I could see something where, like, usually they go with somebody that is, not insanely popular to where, like, they're out of reach and they're, like, this super A-list actor or actress, and, they're to command a bunch of money, right? Like, like a Robert Downey Jr., where, like, a cameo is going to cost you, like, $3 million, right? Like, you're not going to get something like that. Like, Sydney Sweeney, like, how much is she making a role? I don't know, probably a couple $100,000, if that. It might not even be that much. You'd be surprised how little. Like, I always see people all the time like, oh man, this actor or this actress probably make, so much money. But in reality, they really don't make as much as you think that they would make. But I do think, I think she is somebody that I think could potentially be very reasonable. I think she's somebody that can kind of come in and, play, again, a cameo role. I wouldn't be shocked if she's now, for some of these movies, right? But like Madam Web, I'd love to see what she's made in Madam Web. I know she's had movies where she's made, like $2 million as like a lead. But I think, a small little cameo. So like, for example, Madam Web, she supposedly made $750,000 for Madam Web, right? If she does like the opening scene, could she be like 50,000, something like that, 100,000 to do the opening scene? And not just that, but you got to think too, Scream is so iconic and memorable, and people grew up with it and stuff like that. Be surprised how many actors and actresses would love to just hey, yeah, please kill me, right? I mean, that was like Samara Weaving, like, because they wanted Samara Weaving in Scream 5, and she wasn't able to do it. And as soon as she could, she was like, please, sign me up. I will gladly take on the role. And she was great, right? You got the opening scene, and all that. But, these cameo roles are usually quick, brief, more often than not, unless it is the opening scene, right? Like I said, with Wes Craven and then Linda Blair, and you kind of go through the list of actors and actresses, and it's like, quick, like little, just like, hey, what do you think? Like just running up as like a news reporter or something like that, or somebody in the background. Unless again, it's the opening scene. But I would love to see somebody. I mean, obviously Scream 4 had like a million cameos in it, right? Like you had like, because you had the opening scene was like, a movie within a movie within a movie within a movie. Obviously, Scream 3 had some, right? Like, so could they do something where it's just like a brief cameo? Could they do something where it's just like an opening scene and you get like the opening scene attack, and that like I said, a Sydney Sweeney or somebody like that, somebody that's known, recognizable, that people would notice immediately right away. And Kevin Williamson, you'd be surprised how connected Kevin Williamson is and how many people know Kevin Williamson. That's why also a lot of these actors and actresses are coming back, right? Even Scott Foley was like, as soon as Kevin called me, I was like, yeah, absolutely. Because he was going back from like Dawson's Creek to obviously Scream 3 when he was first getting started. Jasmine Savoy Brown even said like the reason she came back was because she got the call from Kevin, and she was like, how do you say no to Kevin, right? Like, and she was like, Kevin said that Mindy is his favorite character, which he did say publicly. So you'd be surprised at the kind of ties, right? It is always who you know, right? Like the reason Samara Weaving did Scream 6 was because Radio Silence, right? She has a relationship with Radio Silence. She has familiarity with Radio Silence. They're getting ready to do a couple more movies together, doing Ready or Not 2 and stuff. And so she had the relationship with them, and they were able to get her back in, get her back involved, and be the opening scene. Obviously, you had the guy from Spider-Man. I'm blanking on his name. He played Jason in the opening scene of Scream 6 as well. He was the one that killed Samara Weaving. But again, you look at like Scream 4, and you had, with Brittany Snow and all these actors and actresses that people, really loved and recognized and stuff, actors from True Blood and all that. So, Pretty Little Liars and things like that. So, I can see them maybe doing something where they have a nice little cameo or two, right, with somebody that's very known. But anyway, as always, again, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Again, what kind of names come to mind? What kind of, actors or actresses kind of pop in your head when you think of like, who you'd like to see maybe potentially cameo in the upcoming Scream movie, who you'd like to see kind of play a brief role? Would you want somebody in particular in the opening scene, right? I remember like the Scream 5, like Selena Gomez was like a big one that everyone swore up and down was going to be in the film and stuff. And, you've had, actors and actresses kind of pop up, but is there anybody that really kind of jumps to mind or stands out to you? And like I said, if I see like a consensus thought on an actor or actress, I'll give it a look, and maybe we'll talk about it in future live streams and stuff. But again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it out of the way. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. We enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.